Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing this Perfectly Real foundation makeup by Clinique, and I've actually been using this foundation for a few months and so far I absolutely love it. So stay tuned to see a demo and also before and after pictures just to see how well this foundation lasts throughout the day. So I've already moisturized my skin, so now I will go ahead and do the demo. So I'll first just start by applying the foundation to the left part of my face just so you can see the comparison of this foundation and then my natural skin. And although I don't usually recommend applying foundations with your fingers just because of the bacteria thing, I really do think that it works great for this foundation just because it is really light and I don't want the foundation to get lost in a sponge or a brush. And as long as you moisturize with this foundation, a little bit really does go a long way. As you can see, this side of my face is a little bit lighter than this side, and that is pretty much just because when I bought this foundation it was still a little bit colder outside, and so at that point in time I hadn't received any sun yet. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's a pretty light foundation and it has light coverage. Something that I really like about this foundation is just how natural it looks. I mean, you can pretty much barely tell that I'm wearing any foundation at all, which is something that I really like because it does let your natural skin, you know, just the texture and everything like that shine through underneath it. And so as you can see, this foundation has a pretty good finish and it is not drying at all, although it really isn't oily either, so I think it's the right combination for people who have acne prone and just really oily skin. If you live in an area where it's pretty hot during the summer or there's a lot of humidity, I definitely recommend you top this with some kind of finishing powder. And even though this is, you know, not an oily foundation at all and it tends to keep your face fairly matte throughout the day, the outer elements and stuff like that are really going to play a huge part in just kind of making your skin moist in general, which isn't necessarily the foundation's fault. Alright, and so I will come back in a few hours and post before and after pictures just to see how this foundation has lasted throughout the day. Hi everyone, I'm back. It has been about 4 hours since I've last seen you, and as you can tell, my foundation is pretty much still in place and I might be a little bit oily, but I think that's pretty much just because it has been very rainy and very humid because it's been raining for like 2 weeks. Ridiculous. So as you can see, my bronzer is actually still in place, which is awesome. One of the big things that you'll notice between a good and a bad foundation is that with the bad foundation, at the end of your day, your blush or bronzer will not still like be where you put it to begin with. It'll just be everywhere or it'll be gone. So this is definitely a good thing. And also, like I said, I'm just a little bit oily, but I think that is because of the rain. So my skin doesn't feel too oily when I touch it, which is really good. And I don't like to really touch my skin like that, but just for demonstration purposes. Yeah, I mean, it kind of has just a matte feel to it. It doesn't feel like, you know, just if I touch my face, my foundation is going to come off right in my face because I hate that. And I know you all have experienced that with any just oily foundation. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely a good thing. But yeah, I mean, overall, I really like this foundation. At the end of the day, I don't feel ridiculously oily. You know, my makeup isn't sliding off my face, and that is extremely important for summer. So I definitely recommend this foundation for just a summertime routine because it is light, it will let your skin breathe, and it won't break your skin out, which a lot of the heavier HD foundations tend to do. And basically, just to sum it all up, I really like this foundation because I don't feel like I'm wearing a mask, and I absolutely hate that. I mean, nobody wants to feel like they're wearing face paint during the summertime when it's really hot and really humid. And also, this foundation has a really nice consistency. It's not too liquidy, which is awesome because you know it's going to have a pretty good coverage, but it's not thick at all, which is also great for the summertime. And I also really like the packaging of this foundation. It's pretty easy to use because, you know, you can just like dab it on your hand or like whatever and just put it on your face. It's not just going to dump out, and yeah, and so it's pretty easy to squeeze out. So that is a plus. So yeah, overall I definitely like this foundation, and once again it is the Perfectly Real Makeup Clinique foundation, and if you haven't tried it so far, I definitely recommend it for people who have oily, acne-prone skin, because trust me, that is my skin type. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment box down below, and I will be sure to get back to you all. Alright, I will see you all next week. Bye!